So on a random Tuesday night after Christmas, Luka Doncic decides to have one of the greatest performances of all time by having 60 points, 21 rebounds, and 10 assists in an overtime win against the New York Knicks. This is the first ever 60, 20, and 10 game in NBA history. When I was looking at the reactions on Twitter, people were overreacting, of course, saying that Luka is the GOAT, he's the greatest of all time. But then you had those Debbie Downers who were like, Luka is a stat padder. Come on, bro. Like they always say, if you don't like this, you don't like NBA basketball. If you had the ability, the opportunity to have 60, 20, and 10, wouldn't you? I mean, the goal going into every game is to not only help your team win, but have your best game possible, to have your best individual stats possible, to have the best of both worlds. And that is what Luka had. I mean, when you look at the game, they were playing against a tough New York Knicks team who is looking like a playoff team right now. They're very tough, good defensive team. The Mavericks, they were playing uphill, trying to come back. It was close. It was an overtime win. And also, the Mavericks, they're building momentum. They're on this 4-game winning streak now. They're 6th in the West at 19 and 16. For most of the season, they were hovering around 500, struggling. Now they're finally building momentum, looking like a good team. They needed this win, and Luka carried them to a win with a 60, 20, and 10 game. Come on, bro, just enjoy it. And when you look at it, like I said, it was a close game. Another crazy stat that happened for the first time last night. NBA teams who are down by at least 9 points with 35 seconds remaining on the clock are 0 and 13,884. This was the first time that's ever happened where a team came back to put this game into overtime. I mean, Luka in the last 15 seconds had 6 points and 1 assist. 2 of those points includes that put back shot from his own free throw to put the game into overtime. I mean, the shots he was putting up were crazy. But yeah, let's just dissect the game more. It's not like he was crazy hot from 3. When you see 60-point games, a lot of times it's players getting hot, like James Harden, Stephen Curry. Those guys had 60-point games with multiple threes. Luka only had 2 threes. 53% of his points were in the paint, 21% were off turnovers, and 26% of them were from the free throw line. 85% of his points were unassisted, and he was getting into lane, getting through the Knicks defense. A lot of floaters, post fades, turnaround fades, a lot of putbacks. I did see him have a give and go bucket. Kind of amazing to see, because when I watch Luka, like I said, there's a lot of unassisted buckets. You don't really see him moving off ball, and that happened. Also, one of the assists he had to Reggie Bullock in the corner, I was dying when I saw that. This guy, he's had a couple of those passes this year where he jumps mid-air and then he just throws it without even looking. Yeah, it's a no look, but it's one of those no looks where he's not looking at all. I'm surprised he still knew Reggie Bullock was there. Luka's just having fun out there, man. How can you really hate his game, man? It's just pure joy. More of the numbers. This is Luka's career high in scoring and rebounds. This is the first ever 60 and 20 game by a guard. And this is only the second 60-point triple-double of all time with James Harden. Luka is crazy. And did I also mention he's only 23 years old? I mean, I was going to make a video about Jokic and how he might win his 3rd MVP this year. But you know what? Luka had to crash the party. They're finally starting to win. Luka's putting up crazy numbers. How could you not give Luka an MVP at this point? But yeah, I mean, his quickness, his strength, shooting ability, confidence, creativity, IQ, ability to always play at his own pace and never get sped up. That's what makes Luka the best one-man wrecking crews in the NBA. But when you look at just the Mavericks, does Luka need help? I mean, if you're putting up 60, 20, and 10 and winning in overtime, it's a tough New York Knicks team. But then again, you're barely winning having those stats. You need help at that point. I mean, Spencer Dinwiddie, though, and Christian Wood, they've been playing well. I really don't know how Dallas Mavericks fans feel about Spencer Dinwiddie. Personally, I like him. I like his game. He's a bucket. He's a scorer. He's been shooting efficiently at 60% true shooting. So Spencer Dinwiddie, in my eyes, has been playing well as a full-time starter too. Then when you look at Christian Wood, I know Maverick fans love him. They want to give him an extension. Hopefully they keep him. But he's been playing well. They inserted him into the starting lineup, first time playing with Luka in the starting lineup on December 19th. Since then, they've been 4-1. There were questions about his defense, but he's been developing into a solid two-way player. The offense has been looking good throughout the season. But when you look at championship teams, you need at least 2 stars. And right now it's just Luka. But you asked the question of, or I asked the question of, how could another star coexist with Luka? Because when we look at Luka, he's always up there when it comes to usage rate. The ball stops when it's in his hands. A lot of unassisted buckets. How would a star coexist with him? I'm not saying it wouldn't work, but I'm just curious. Spencer Dinwiddie and Christian Wood have been playing better, even playing well with Luka. So, it'll be interesting to see. But yeah, I mean, when we look forward, I know it's supposed to be a video of like celebrating Luka and like his 60, 20, and 10 game, but let's also look forward and how this team could get better. Their biggest trade chip is Tim Hardaway Jr. He's making around like 15 or 16 million per year. He has been playing better. Has he been playing up to that contract? No, but he's been playing better. He was inefficient in the beginning of the season, but now the numbers are going up. The trade value, I would think, is going up. Could they attach him in a future first? I think they have one in 2024 and 2025 and get something good. What could they get? What do you guys think? I mean, on top of my head, I really don't have any names. I know I said he needs another star, but you're not getting another star with Tim Hardaway in the pick only. So I don't know, but that's what I think would be their best trade opportunity. That's all I have for you guys in this video. Luka's only 23, playing amazing, looking like the MVP. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like, subscribe, leave a comment. What do you guys think about this performance? Is this the greatest of all time performance? Does Luka need help? Who would you want to pair with Luka? Leave that down below. But what I always say in my videos, my first name is Emilio, but my middle name is Lawrence, and I like hoops. If you like hoops too, subscribe to it too. Until next time, peace.